Money, 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 money.
Hey guys, welcome back to Feast or Famine with the Youngs. We are the Youngs.
I was supposed to say that. We are the Youngs.
Oh, this is episode 4.
That's my job.
I'm sorry.
I guess I'll just leave. I'm not needed anymore.
I'm wearing a dad shirt today.
It's not my shirt.
No, I ordered it for me, but I'm calling it my dad shirt. It's
Is it actually called a dad shirt?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised
If this podcast catches on and they become dad shirts?
I mean, I'm wearing a dad shirt, let's just be honest.
It's fine.
For those listening and not watching, it's what is this fabric?
Corduroy?
Tan with like a puffy sleeve on the end.
But
around
as
the
a
wrist.
male, I would never wear a shirt with those buttons on it.
I feel like I've seen my dad wear a nice top like this.
Not
in the
that males
past.
can't. I just wouldn't.
With these buttons?
Yeah, I don't like those buttons.
They're round and brown.
Giant.
Big buttons. I feel like I've seen my dad wear a
Welcome
shirt
to the
like this.
Young's Fashion Podcast. I'm Alex, and
Anyway, what are we talking about today other than my dad shirt?
I actually forgot. Hold on, let me a sec. Oh, money.
Money. Oh, I have to do this because we're talking about money today.
I don't know if we can play that. Okay, off.
Wait, we have to wait for the money part. Money. Okay, but
Seriously though, we're talking about money and the idea that money buys happiness, or money can buy happiness.
okay, before we tell our thoughts on it, I want to know what their thoughts on it. So pause this video, pause this podcast, and put in the comments how you feel about money versus happiness. I'll wait. Okay, pause it.
You're ridiculous. If this was live, that would be great.
Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. We're on episode 4. I still don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just here.
The I don't know what I'm doing podcast.
I'm just here to flex on my dad shirts.
Anywho, so money and happiness, do they correlate? Can you buy happiness?
Can you buy happiness is the question. I say yes.
Interesting.
Does money buy happiness?
I think it can.
I think it can.
I think there's a big misconception, and I think when people say money can't buy happiness, they're talking about it in a sense of just
Material?
material and wanting to buy things.
Yeah.
Like, money can buy me a real nice sports car, and I am going to be real happy every time I drive that thing.
Yeah, and I think it's more of like when people say, well, money doesn't buy happiness, it's like, well, if you go and buy that like $350,000 car, it's not going to bring you all your hopes and dreams down the line for years to come.
No, but it's going to cost all your hopes and dreams.
Which is true. Okay, I agree with that statement. You know, any material thing isn't going to bring you happiness for the rest of your life.
That's true.
So this is, and Alex and I feel the same way about this. So this is where we come in with our thoughts.
The whole idea of money and happiness comes down to your mindset about money.
Yeah. And I think personally, this is my opinion, sometimes the appearance of having a lot of money is a negative one, probably because of celebrities. There's a lot of the times these celebrities who are rich, who have more money than they know what to do with, go crazy or get mental illnesses or, you know.
I think that comes more from fame. I think the idea you're talking about comes not so much from the people that actually have the money. It's the people that don't have the money but flex like they do have the money. So they'll be living paycheck to paycheck, but they're wearing $200 shoes. They're driving a $80,000 car that they can barely afford the payment on.
That's a good point.
I think,
and they have all these nice things, but they are so unhappy.
They're struggling financially. They can barely pay their bills because they have so many bills.
Yeah.
I think that is where the misconception and the idea behind having money comes from.
Well, you mentioned something earlier about money being evil.
The money,
Because you described this way better than I do.
biblically it says and whether you believe in the Bible or not, I think this still stands true. Money is the root of evil.
Yeah.
But it's the love of money that is the root of evil. Because when you put all your desires into the money and having it itself is when it becomes toxic. I believe you can still have the money, still be very happy, and for the right reason, still be very healthy and mentally there.
Yeah.
And it's not evil. Like, I'm trying to think of people, but I can't. It's eluding me.
If you watched our last episode, this is why you should make notes, Alex.
What?
This is why you should make notes.
I don't write notes.
If you watched our last episode, you know that Alex doesn't make notes, but this is a perfect example of why he should have made a note. Because he doesn't have an example.
I do have an example.
Okay, sure.
Actually, I don't. But I don't want to write notes because I feel like they put me in a box. And I don't want to be in a box. But speaking of the last podcast, go listen to it because we did talk about tips on starting your business. And one big thing we touched on was knowing your why. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing it? And that actually correlates to this very, very well because
for us personally,
one of the biggest reasons we want to be successful with our business is so we can make the money to fund our why, because our why is all about providing for our entire family and giving them opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise give themselves or have.
So,
and it all costs money.
When we, started, every year we make goals. And every goal is bigger than the previous one, obviously. And when we were kind of like in the beginning of us both being full-time and things like that, we would share our goals with family and friends. And we would get like really weird, like, really? Why do you want to make like that much money? Which is also subjective. So what is a lot of money for one person is not necessarily a lot of money for the other.
Also, when we tell people what we want to gross versus what we want to net, it looks different because they don't see the ins and outs and what our actual money is going to, because we don't keep what we gross.
No.
There's a whole lot of expenses that go into that.
Absolutely. So
nobody keeps what they gross. So if you see somebody that says, I made $500,000 with my photography business this year, did you though? Ask them what their expenses cost.
Yeah.
And that'll tell you if they actually did make $500,000.
Yeah. But what I was saying is that like I feel like we've kind of, as far as like our close family and friends, we've kind of already, they get it now. But in the beginning, they didn't really understand. Like they were like, why do you want to make that much money? Like you guys don't need that much money. And it's not necessarily that we need it, because we don't.
We could stay where we're at right now for the rest of however long we want, and we'd pay our bills and be just fine. But
we have goals and things that we want to do that we want to make the money, and we need to make the money to be able to do these things. Like one of the goals that we had for 2020, which COVID,
we already spilled the beans, so this isn't like we're giving away a surprise.
Yeah, COVID totally. I mean, 2020 is over, but we had this on our goal list in the beginning of 2020. And that's one of the reasons why we were like, this is going to be our year. And it totally was not for everybody.
We didn't do bad. We
didn't do bad.
In the scheme of things,
but this did not happen. And it was something that we really wanted to do, and something that COVID totally effed up. Was we wanted to give an all expensive paid trip for our entire family to go to Disney World.
Yep.
Like flight, hotel, tickets to the park. I mean, they would pay like their food and stuff, but
for the most part,
all expenses paid trip. And so
like our two older nephews are at the age that they would remember it, and they would eat it up. Our youngest nephew, Zane, has been, but he was so young, he probably doesn't remember any of it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able to ride any rides or anything, but he'll be at that age by the time that he would have been at the age by the time we were able to schedule and plan it, that he'd remember it and love it.
Yeah. So it's that, like, and also I feel like, okay, here's the deal. If you know us or if you don't know us and you're just getting to know us, we are bougie. Like, we like nice things, and
I wouldn't say bougie, but I definitely like nice things.
we're bougie. He's being modest. We like nice things. We enjoy having nice things.
I just enjoy a really nice steak, and steak is expensive.
Mainly food. Like, when, when I say this,
we're bougie foodies.
Foodies, yes. So we like nice things. So, and I think that it's kind of apparent, like the way that we dress or certain things that we buy. And as far as like big purchases, like we've made statements in passing with people that we know, like, we want a boat, and it's like, what? And why do you want a boat like that? And I think that to some people is really unrealistic. But we don't want a boat to flex for it. We don't want to be like, hey, we have all this money and bought a boat. Like, let's party on our yacht. We want a boat so we can spend time with our family, make memories with our family, bring them down to a lake house and just party with our family. Like, it's about
it all comes
sharing
back
it
to our why. 100% of everything we talk about and everything we do as far as wanting to make money and things we want to buy and things we want to do with that money always comes back to what our why is.
Yeah. And it's sharing our wealth. It's sharing what we have made with our family and not selfishly keeping it for ourselves or buying, all this expensive stuff. Like, I may treat myself to a few things here and there, but that's not what's making me happy. It's being able to provide for our family, being able to give them experiences that they may have not had if it wasn't for us making the money to pay for it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So yes, money can buy happiness if you ask me, but it's more about the mindset of it.
Yeah. And I think it's a tricky game also. And I can't really say because we're not even necessarily there yet, but I think the counter argument would be, people get all this money. They make all this money.
We got motorcycles.
There's a motorcycle coming.
As usual, we are live in our studio. We're not live, but it's a busy street.
What I was saying is that, we may have, and this is probably, what is it called? When there's another side of the argument, what is it called?
Devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate is that, we may have these good intentions, but what if people are waving in the window? Again, this happened on our last episode.
Waving?
And
didn't I not say that was one of my goals, is to be recording these and make it like Good Day St. Louis or something, and they're doing it in front of the window.
It totally distracts me.
And they're like waving in the window. I eventually want people to like be holding signs in the window.
Oh my
while
gosh.
we record
No,
these.
I can't. I will get way too distracted.
That would be hilarious and great and amazing.
Oh my gosh.
We made it.
No.
Speaking of making it,
Okay. Pause for a minute.
I want to tell my
Alex.
story before the end of the show.
Okay. Anyway, going back to the devil's advocate, because I feel like this is really important. And this is like where the conversation comes into play.
Okay.
Is that we may have these good intentions, but what if we get money hungry for it? What if we're like, I want more, I want more, I want more type of thing.
That's where,
which is very valid.
Keeping your priorities in check and your why in check, and just you're constantly
stay humble.
You stay humble, but you as a business owner in general, you should always be looking at your business and what you're doing from an outside perspective. And that goes with everything, not just if you're getting to see if you're getting money hungry or not, or if you're spending your money wisely or not, but like if you're not getting the inquiries that you normally would be, don't blame the seasonality, blame what you're doing. Look at what you're doing and see if you need to make a change. Same thing with money.
I feel like it's, and as far as like what you're saying, I feel like that's kind of like a universe thing. Like if you're putting those vibes out there, the universe is going to give you what you're putting out. And that goes hand in hand with like, if you're not booking and you're like, I'm not booking, I'm so negative, then it's kind of like manifestation, which is a whole nother topic, but
like I'm going to book a wedding this week and then boom,
and then
you
it
book a wedding this
happens.
week.
But if you're negative about it, then you're going to get negative back or you'll get nothing back. So it's it is, I would agree that it is a very tricky thing to deal with as far as having a lot of money and making sure you're like handling it the right way.
Staying above reproach and just, yeah. You're not like becoming toxified, I guess, is that a word? By having the money.
Yeah. I mean, what if like, and this is a question kind of, you know, obviously I don't know because I'm not there, I'm not rich, but for someone who does have an absurd amount of money, having someone manage it for you, I'm sure is a thing, right? So like you don't have just this like unlimited allowance of funds to spend. Like I feel like for us, because we know ourselves and we are a little spontaneous sometimes, like it would be good for, you know, which you're good with our finances anyway. So you may have like, may have already done this, but like giving ourselves some type of allowance or certain bank accounts that are for certain things. That way you're just not like blowing all of your money on,
like
on random stuff.
Any extra income or profits or whatever, for instance, keep them in a separate bank account at a different bank that you don't have a debit card attached to.
Yeah.
That you actually have to physically go into that bank to get money out of and write up one of those little withdrawal slips and stuff. Something like that, just to keep yourself from getting greedy and irresponsible and like being toxic with your money.
Yeah.
Actually, Profit First, which is an amazing book, talks about that idea where you take it talks about how you manage your money, but the one thing that it does say is your profit amount should be in a different bank account that you can't really touch because it's profit and it's designed to be used to enjoy.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I think
it's okay to buy nice things. It's okay to spend money on things that you might enjoy and stuff like that, but you should not be doing it at the expense of paying for your necessities. It shouldn't be one of those things that because I'm buying this stuff and because I'm paying for this really nice car or paying for my entire family to go to Disney World, I now have to live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah. So I would like to know, I should have looked this up, but I would like to know where that term and phrase came from.
Money doesn't equal happiness.
Because
I would look it up while you keep talking.
I would also like to hear somebody's, you know, opinion on if they disagree or not. Because most of the people that we talk to generally agree with us. Would you say that?
For the most part, yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. As far as like our friend group and everything, yeah.
Yeah. So I would be really intrigued to hear someone's, you know, opinion on the other side if they don't agree with us. I feel like that also kind of goes, you know, hand in hand with money is subjective.
What do you mean by money is subjective?
Like, or price or a lot of money is subjective.
Okay. The thought behind money is subjective.
Yeah.
So like, I need something that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. That's very subjective because something that doesn't cost an arm and a leg to one person, an arm and a leg might be worth a whole lot more than an arm and a leg to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like
it won't load, but I found it. It's from like a book or something.
Yeah.
It says money can buy material things, but real happiness must be truly earned. Money. Let's see. Yeah, that's where the original phrase came from. I don't know what it's from.
True happiness must be
earned. Interesting.
That is interesting. I'm like trying to think about that. Like
so
you work hard and you earn it.
But what if you work hard and you earn
the money?
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's where the mindset comes in. So like if somebody is depressed for instance.
Yeah. Are we
Having
going to hear this like a leaf blower?
Possibly, but I might be able to work some magic.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Wow.
If it is, it is.
Okay.
It'll be low. If someone's depressed and they have a whole lot of money and they just keep buying things
To fill that
to
void.
fill that to like try to make themselves feel better, they might feel fine like in the moment, but it's not going to fix them being depressed.
Well, that's what I was saying in the beginning.
Right.
So what about someone who, you know, everybody's life looks different. Like family is very important to us. And obviously that's why we want to make money. So we can provide, give them opportunities, etc. But what about someone who doesn't have family?
What about them?
Like what
brings you joy?
so
Like true deep down joy. And what is how does it, I think it comes back to what your why is.
Yeah.
Why do you want the money? Why do you want to make a lot of money? If you want to make a lot of money to live in a big house and drive real freaking nice cars, by all means.
Yeah.
If that's your why, to me, it's kind of surface level. There's got to be more to it than that, which is why that's why we, in the last episode, talked more about dig into your why, because it isn't, your why should not be surface level. And I think when you know your why, money can buy that happiness because it can help fund your why, whatever that might be. Your true deep down why.
Yeah. That's very true. Like if somebody wanted to open up like a food bank.
Right.
Or something.
Just like I'm running this business because I want to fund a different business.
Yeah.
Or because I want to.
Another thing that we actually didn't talk about on our why, which now our episodes are kind of bleeding together, but
okay.
I'm surprised you didn't mention this, is that you have friends and we have family that we want to employ because they hate their job.
Oh yeah. I'd love to be able to make this company so successful that I can take people from the jobs that they hate, give them an income, and
provide them with an opportunity.
That they'll enjoy, that won't suck away all of their time in their life, and they can still have because our business is built around family being a priority. So if I ever have an employee that I'm pulling from their family, please punch me in the face. Seriously, because that's part of our values.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that's part of my values and not expect my employees to be the same.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
But yes, I'd love to, like, the people I know so many people that are just in jobs that they're either stuck at, they don't really necessarily hate it, but they're not thriving and they're not happy for 100% happy.
And us making a lot of money buying happiness, being able to employ other people that we love and care about
and make them happy
is like what it's about for us.
Makes me happy.
Right. So in that sense, I totally say it does buy you happiness. You just have to make sure you're doing it the right way and you have pure intention behind making the money, and then you use it in the right way and you don't take advantage of it.
So the money is the byproduct, not the priority.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
You're not like money. You're like, I need to do this and it costs this much. So I need to make this much to do this.
Yeah. That's good. So that's it for me. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this. And it's totally okay if you disagree. Like I said, I want to know why you disagree because I think this is so intriguing.
And actually, this podcast is kind of all over the place anyway.
Yeah.
With this topic because
I feel like our podcasts are always all over the place. We need to take notes.
It makes it fun. I don't want to take notes.
Unless they don't like it.
Do you like it or hate it? Should I take notes? I don't want to take notes. Should I take notes?
I didn't make notes on this one because I kind of already knew what I wanted to say. And we amongst ourselves have had this conversation a lot. So we kind of already like knew how this was going to go.
That's why it was shorter, because it wasn't a whole lot of explanation.
Yeah.
But let's make a conversation out of it in the comments.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube. If you're not watching this on YouTube, go to YouTube and comment on it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about money and happiness.
Maybe we can have a guest soon,
I think we will.
because we have a list of people who we want to bring on.
COVID makes it a little difficult because several of them are out of state.
Yeah.
I'd love to fly them in here and have them on live, but I don't think that's going to be a 100% feasible for everybody.
Right.
We do have a couple that are in town, so we're going to get a guest on here soon, ASAP.
Yeah. All right, guys, that is it from us.
Oh, I didn't get to tell my story.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
What did I say? What was the story?
It was about us making it, which we have not.
Oh, okay, yes. So we did 12 Days of Christmas giveaways in December. And obviously that means you give something away every day. And a lot of people liked it. We started getting fake accounts made that were trying to mimic us and basically steal people's information.
Yeah, which is not cool.
That's not
They were
cool.
sending DMs to the people who were entering our giveaways and saying, click this link to actually enter the giveaway, which is a total scam. Don't appreciate it. But I made a joke. I was like,
Does that mean we made
does
it?
that mean that we've made it? Which I'm totally kidding.
But does it?
No.
Because I mean, one of the accounts, by the time we saw that it was faking us,
It changed.
like somebody had told us it was faking us, they changed to fake somebody else, and that somebody else was First Form, the gigantic, multi-billion-dollar supplement industry. I don't think it's multi-billion, but still, Antifracella, the giant supplement chain.
Yeah. It doesn't mean we've made it.
They went from us to them. I mean,
I think we just had.
Come on
I think
now.
the algorithm on our page was.
algorithm.
I can't say that word. It was like really high for 12 days straight.
And people saw a giveaway and they wanted to steal people's information because
Yeah.
they're jerks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't think
that was
we'll-
a fun
I
story.
think maybe this is another topic for another day, but I don't think that we will ever come to a point where we feel like we've made it, because there's always room to grow.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's another topic. I could go on. Yep.
Yeah.
I won't interject because this could become another podcast.
So when I make jokes about we've made it, I'm totally kidding. I'm not that shallow. Okay, that's it for us right now, guys. Tune in to our next episode. All right?
Please.
Peace.
We'll see you next time.
Money. I really want to see you for money. Money.
Ridiculous.